Welcome to Midnight Girltalk, the show that should be recorded at midnight but isn't. This is me, Puppy Girl,
Hi, I'm Midnight Rain.
Hi, I'm Purple Moon.
and today we've got our first guest, who is,
Hi, I'm Moses.
like, from the Bible.
Like from the pool, me and my friend were playing mermaids one day, and we gave each other mermaid names, and the favorite was Moses.
That's understandable.
That's cute. I like it.
So, all right, Moses. Do you have anything that you want to admit to us? No, I'm kidding.
Okay. I was going to say, again, I'm a cis woman married to Midnight Rain, who is trans female. And we are really, really good friends with Puppy Girl, who is also trans female. And this is basically the discovery of ourselves and the guests that we have on our show. And today we have Moses, and we're going to get more information about the next possibilities and all of this sexapades. That's a good one.
Sexcapades?
Sexcapades.
Oh, okay.
That was a fun pun. Yeah, I liked that. Yeah, I guess admit-wise. Okay, I'll admit something. I haven't had sexual intercourse in maybe about a year.
Wow. How does that make you feel?
It's quite riveting. It's incredibly peaceful. I have a lot of peace. I do believe that sex is like a energy transfer.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, I did not really learn that until like at a later age, at a much, much later age. I really do wish that the sex education in public school systems, specifically in Texas, were a lot better, because I genuinely didn't know how a child was made until probably the age of like 15.
Wow.
Yeah, wait, did you get sex ed here in Texas?
Yes, we got sex ed, I believe in like 7th grade, but the sex ed was us receiving photos of the consequences of sex, such as like photos of what STDs look like on genital parts, and yeah, just a lot of like negative aspects to it, nothing positive
Scare
whatsoever.
tactics.
Yeah, it was like extreme scare tactics, and believe it or not, we were like given at the end of the course, we were given these small slips of paper, and it was like I blank, and you like signed and printed your name to like hereby vow to be abstinent. Like we were kind of coerced to sign a small piece of paper that obviously had no legal bonding to it, but it was definitely like at least for me, I felt like it was some type of vow that I held. It was like a principle that I held within myself to like stay abstinent as long as I could, because it was like the smart thing to do, but I literally didn't even know what sex was.
That's crazy
That's
because
insane.
I do remember it as well. About this, I think around the same grade, and this is years before you. And I remember doing that same contract, and I made it to 18, which is better than what my parents and everybody else has done. So I was proud of myself. But yeah, I remember going, okay, this is like a small little vow to myself.
Yeah, it's insane. It was almost like a sense of brainwashing.
Yeah.
That's
Conditioning.
that's crazy. What the fuck? We didn't have that. We didn't have any sex ed where I'm from. Not even, yeah, not that, but like they didn't tell you like the basics, but they told you what the fuck. That's insane.
And then I had a different experience there too, being growing up as a guy. We didn't really we had a sex ed, but it was all right. All the girls went off and talked about real stuff, and we sat there and made fun of it. Like, we had the football coaches in there, and like, all right, y'all guys have any questions? And one of the kids was like, "What's a boner?" And then everybody laughed, and you know what, y'all just behave and shut up. And that was the end of it. So yeah, we didn't know what the hell was going on. We knew more from, you know, finding out stuff on the internet. Well, this is before the internet really was as big as it is now, but yeah.
Interesting. How I learned what a boner was in orchestra, 8th grade. It was like,
You've got to explain. What? What?
no, oh my god, that did sound awful. Oh my god. Yeah, that sounds really bad. No, I guess being in 8th grade, I think the sex ed class I had, I was probably like 7th grade or 6th grade, but in 8th grade, that was like the senior year of middle school. And not I was like extremely innocent, and I truly didn't know anything sexual at all. So then I was like in the back row of the violin area at orchestra, and we were technically like quote unquote the bad kids of the orchestra. And I like sat next to this guy, and I don't know how it happened, but I was just like, yeah, I've never seen a penis before. Like, I think they were just talking about like dirty things, and I said, I've never seen, I don't know what like that means. Like, what do you mean it gets bigger? And then they're like, you don't know,
Wow.
you don't know what like a boner means? I was like, what does that mean? Like, doesn't it stay the same? I genuinely didn't know that they expanded in size.
I didn't know they shrank.
They shrank. But yeah, and then there was like the music stand in front of us, and then he was just like, yeah, it kind of gets like, I was like, how hard does it get? Like, I'm thinking like rocks. And he was like, no, it's like, he like grabs the music stand, like the pole of it, and he's like, it's kind of like that, but slightly softer, just because there's skin around it. And I'm like, what the heck? Why does that happen? Like, it's completely mind-blowing, because I was just like, that's as if my arm just became like a telephone post just because it did. Like, that's how my mind was like processing this. And then they proceeded, and then they ate it up. The bad kids loved it, because they're like, bet, like, we get to, in a way, I think they were like, yeah, they kept saying like, we get to ruin you, but how I saw it is like, they were literally just educating me, because then they were like pulling up these photos of literally just like a penis, and I was like, that's what that looks like. Like, I've never had the opportunity as like an 8th grader to really see someone's dick. So
I saw it on one of my mom's porns videos. So I had an idea, but every time you look at porn, they're always hard. So the first time I saw one that wasn't hard, I was like, oh, I didn't know it actually like shrank. Like, it was like a different thought.
oh,
So,
yours was like in
yeah,
reverse.
not the cold part, but like just their normal everyday when they're not horny thing.
Like flaccid. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fair. I've had like similar. I had some like similar, like way smaller things, but things I didn't realize until I was like dead ass, like 19 or whatever. It just like being intersex or whatever, and just assuming that the way my stuff worked is just like normal when believe it or not, like it's not. Oh my god. Just like
yeah, I'm waiting.
just dumb shit.
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
waiting.
great. Let me tell you, like, I'll primarily, because I'm like naturally infertile or whatever. Like my cum, even before I started hormones, like looked different, right? Like it wasn't super white, and there wasn't like it didn't like go anywhere or whatever. So it's like like, oh, okay, like people, like it wasn't until I started like being sexually active that I realized like, oh, that's not just like like that's like an actual thing. Like, what the fuck?
I was told that when boys like first masturbate, when they ejaculate, it actually doesn't come out the first like couple times. Is that true?
I do not remember. I'm sorry. Rain, do you know?
I don't think that was my experience.
I think it depends, like, when you start or whatever. Because if you start, like, before puberty or something, then probably, yeah, that would track. But if
Although,
you know.
I think the first time it happened for me, I was asleep, so I don't really know
What?
what happened. What?
I'm dying. You know, one of those good wet dreams, and you don't realize
No, I
it until you
don't. I've
wake
never
up.
had one.
I've never had
Oh my-
one.
Oh my god. Yeah, I had lots growing up. It was bad. I mean, and up till about 2 years ago, I would still have them every once in a while. And I'm 34.
And by once in a while, does that mean like
Once a
Um,
month, once a week.
eh.
Yeah.
it would be like once every like 3 or 4 months, maybe.
Okay, that makes more sense.
that's a little that is kind of like a routine though.
Yeah.
It's like seasonal.
was-
It's once a season.
Oh my god.
See, I have
You're-
a slightly
you're-
different
you're-
experience when it comes to that.
That's fair.
I mean, wet dreams were fairly normal. Like, I even still have them to today. Where I just wake up and I go, oh, okay, I just need to go to the bathroom. But it's not like it's not like the opposite where you have a full-on mess.
Yeah.
Mine is just like, oh, I need to go change and kind of clean up a little bit and I can move on. No big deal. But yeah, I can still like go out my day and not have to worry about my sheets or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, no, most times I would need a shower.
Okay. Damn. Personally, I don't think I've ever gotten to that level. Like, even awake. Like, this is still something that does not, like, comprehend with me.
Damn.
I don't know what else to say. Like, oh, okay. Okay.
Oh, speaking of showers, I have a fun shower story. Yeah, so this was in the beginning of like my hoe phase of where I was like kind of like, okay, let's get experience now. It's time for the experience. I'm single. It's just got out of a committed relationship. It's time. And I'm in like college. Like this is the moment. So this is like the phase, and in the near middle beginning, I'm like speaking to this boy, and my friend suggests that I like take a shower with him, and I'm trying to play it cool, like yeah. So then she helps me set it up through the text, and when I pull up, I'm realizing like, oh my god, like I've never taken a shower with someone that I have not been in a relationship with. This is really scary. Like, this is super vulnerable, and I'm just now processing this. So then we're in the shower, and then I'm honestly just trying not to look anywhere. I'm just looking at the water, and then I like smell like something salty, and
Oh god.
and I'm standing in front of the water because he's letting me have the water. How sweet. And he's behind me. And then I smell like
Aw.
something salty, and then I look down and I see color of yellow start from like
Oh.
coming from behind me to the drain, and I'm like, he just like peed on me directly or indirectly. I don't care. There's pee on me. And I'm like, okay, like there's no point in me asking, did you just pee on me? Because it's very evident that this is already happening. So I'm just like, all right. And this is obviously before that I knew how to express my boundaries and I knew my own inner peace. But I was like, okay, this is happening. And then, yeah, we continue on with the shower, proceed to have sex, and then I get a UTI from him. How is that possible? We literally just took a shower. How is that possible?
Because you still ended up having sex and he wasn't fully clean.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much what it was. And I'm like, great.
Jesus, that's.
So not only did he pee on me, but he also gave me a UTI.
And in actuality, the second guy that I was with gave me a UTI as well because he was not clean. And that's when it started to point where, okay, anytime I have sex, they have to be clean, like regardless. And it also, even after that, like I learned through time that going to the bathroom right after sex is healthier for a woman because it helps like get everything that needs to get out.
Extremely, yeah. It's literally a urinary tract infection. Like it cleans out the tract.
Yeah. It's not fun.
No, it's like my arm was gripping the counter and my whole body was curling. It feels awful.
Yeah. I don't miss it.
Yeah, and
Jesus.
your girl's been celibate for like a year, so
That's understandable. I don't blame you.
Okay, so since you are celibate at this point in time, now I am going to go ahead and jump in a little bit deeper. Are you able to figure yourself out now personally and what you like and what you don't like? Are you experimenting with other things?
I feel like no. The only times that I was experimenting was when I've been in a committed relationship, and I have been in a handful of those. I think by being celibate, I'm not sure if it's a effect of one or the other, but my libido is extremely low, so I haven't really been experimenting as of recently. However, when I've been in committed relationships, I find it very, very easy to start experimenting because I'm not sure if I'm fully satisfied with just like I don't want to say regular because I feel like everyone has a very different definition of regular stuff.
With like more vanilla stuff, I guess.
Yeah, like vanilla. Like I've experimented with. Oh, I can say that I am a brat. That is a definite fact. However,
You'll get along with purple.
Yeah.
So there's that.
I was being a brat earlier. So.
And you're gonna regret it in like 3 months.
In a month.
Wait, is October not 3 months from? Wait, what the fuck?
We're about to hit September, sweetie.
Wait.
That's true.
I'm so lost.
Yeah.
September's technically tomorrow.
Oh shit.
No, 31st. There's 31st.
Wednesday.
Yeah.
Or the third. No,
No, it
excuse
is
me.
the 30th now. Cause
Oh wait,
it's
today is the 30th.
Thursday.
And then
It's Thursday.
Wednesday is the 31st. And
Yeah.
then the 1st is Thursday. Okay, this makes sense
Oh
to
my
me.
gosh.
Now I understand.
Okay.
But continue. You were talking about being a brat.
Yeah. So I remember there was this one ex-boyfriend that I had, and he was very much like a golden retriever type boyfriend, and I very much wanted like him to hit me. But then when it actually happened, like at times where I didn't have prior permission about it, I was like, whoa, like I actually really fucking hated that. Like, I don't know. I'm not sure if it was like with the prior permission that was needed. Obviously, yeah, but it was like, also he hit really hard. Like he hit my face, like really hard.
That's not nice. You should. I was gonna say you shouldn't hit people, but like there's
That's what I was thinking
situations.
too.
Yeah, it was like a strike across the face. And I was like, whoa.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I was like, whoa. Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been like a hard. I think we're done because you're not playing the game anymore.
Yeah, I
You
think.
just took it to a whole new level.
I think there was like a huge mix up or like there was like a hazy area of what the game was, when it starts, or even when it ends. So then
Yeah.
I like pretty much strayed away from it after that. But yeah, there was a lot of like testing the waters with submission with him, or at least like me, because he wasn't a very dominant person outside of the bedroom, so I thought like within the bedroom he would be. And yeah, I think he was just confused too, and there was really no way to really talk about it, so then we just ended up not we ended up breaking up, but not obviously not because of that, but it didn't help.
Yeah.
Wow. I see. For me, like we talked in the last podcast, I like pain, but it's like in certain places. Like strike across the face, I'll punch you because that's just not how that one goes. Um, no, but for me, it's like the somewhat good smack on the ass and stuff like that. So I don't think there's a time and place for a lot of it, and places where you're allowed to touch and be that hard on yourself or the other person.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think I enjoy pain on my wrists.
I have not heard that before. Huh.
Yeah, I think it also goes hand in hand with being a brat. It's like usually when it's like trying to brace.
Like if they were to grab your wrist, trying to like pull you to them, or like, no, you're coming with me kind of thing, or like a smack on the wrist.
More of like I pretend to try to gain control, and then they're like, no.
Okay, that I can understand. I
Extremely
can
brat.
visualize it.
Yeah, extremely brat. Yeah, and I remember there was this one time that I dated a tennis player, and it was extremely spontaneous. So I'm actually really glad that it worked out well. But yeah. He had like a tennis racket next to him. No, he didn't hit me with that. Please let me finish.
Okay.
He had a tennis racket next to us, and then he like took it and I guess like undid the tape on the handle, and then like tied me with the tape to a rolly desk chair. Like my wrist to like a rolly desk chair, and yeah. I eventually broke free, but I was like, whoa, like, that was really cool.
Very spontaneous.
Very spontaneous.
A very, like, I don't know, mad props, fucking using
Way
the
to go, tennis
environment or
player.
whatever.
Yeah, he was pretty fast with it, too. It, like, we continued the hot and heavy momentum. Like, not once was it awkward at like, for taking too long or anything. It was pretty dope.
Oh, well, that's good.
Yeah.
Rain, do you have any questions?
Not right offhand, no.
She's calm today.
A little bit.
So there hasn't been really experimenting with toys or anything like that, I'm assuming.
No.
Just tape.
Yeah. No, not too much. I think I tend to separate sexual intercourse with playing of toys because my body genuinely just cannot handle that overstimulation. Like, I do need concentration on one or the other.
Okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
When it
'Cause I
comes
didn't.
to things with like overstimulation, right? Have you tried anything with like blindfolds or like earmuffs or something? Because that could help with that, maybe, potentially.
I didn't know earmuffs was a thing.
Yeah, so you don't get
I
overstimulated with
haven't.
sound.
Yeah, I haven't tried either, or either of those, but it's not I'm interested in. But yeah.
So the blindfold will keep it from, you can't see what's going on around you, so you have to just feel. The earmuffs are so you don't hear your own noises as well as your partner's. And if you have like a vibrator or something like that, you don't hear the buzz. You just feel it.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a different perspective, and it, from what I've read, is it kind of puts you in a different world, a different like platform of it when you're having sex.
I mean, that's very believable. Like, dampening one of your senses only heightens the other one, so that does make sense. I think I have been blindfolded once, but then it was like many, many years ago, and I just remember like being very twitchy, like it's so sensitive to where I was just like twitching, and I didn't like it.
That's fair.
I like it.
I think I like
I'm
doing
a
it
different
to
type of person,
others.
apparently. Now, have you been dominant with somebody else, or have you ever just had somebody be dominant towards you?
I have been dominant towards others, but I usually did it with the. Actually, no, yeah, I did not do it with the conclusion that I would be submissive in the end. But it did end up going that way, and I very much enjoyed it for that. So I think that's where I was like learning. I was like, okay, maybe I am a brat.
That's
Give
fair.
me enough leeway to have a little bit of fun, but then you put me back into my place and.
Correct. It was, yeah. Correct.
Gotcha.
Also, at the time, like the person that I was, I think I was a very dominant person outside of the bedroom. This was with a very committed, in a very committed relationship I was in. And our dynamic outside, like in front of our friends, I guess the trope was kind of like, bitchy girlfriend and grumpy boyfriend. And we would bicker a lot, but it was like fun to like play that part a little bit into the bedroom, but I wanted to just be able to relax and be like, okay, like you take the steering wheel now. Like I'm pretty ready.
Yeah. Fuck being in control.
Amen.
I still have to be.
Sometimes.
Yeah. That, I mean, that we talked about that on the last episode. Is I'm a switch. I do both.
Oh.
I can be very, very dominant toward women, and I would prefer to be submissive toward with men.
I see.
Just because it seems to be easier for me. I don't know how to really explain it completely, but that's part of the reason why we're in an open relationship at this point, is because I'm still trying to figure that part of myself out. And there's only so much that Rain can do comfortably, where we've always had it a certain dynamic, and it's just kind of like, okay, I can do this much, but problem is I personally, I need a little bit more, but I can still completely like yank her hair and just like pull her back and say, you know what, I got this, and I can take over with no problem. And do not get me wrong, she completely likes it. So
Yeah, I used to actually really liked having my hair yanked. But I think there's a specific way on how it has to be executed in order for it to be pleasurable. As in, like, which part of my hair you're pulling. Because I feel like if you're pulling, like, the ends of it, it's like, dog, like, you're actually, like, hurting my neck. But
No, you have to
Yeah.
get like the back of the hair and put your like hand like into the
Yeah.
hair and then
Yeah,
like get a
yeah.
good grasp.
Yeah, yeah.
If you don't know how to do that, then please don't do it because you're gonna end up hurting me.
Yeah, exactly.
I like my hair where it belongs.
Very much so, very much so. Oh my god, I'm just remembering something. So, I used to do this hairstyle where I like had two like braids, like two French braids. And like my significant other, I would like wear this just like normally, like for my day-to-day hairstyle. And then my significant other was like, he would literally get turned on when I had that hair. And I was like, okay, cool. So then that was the hairstyle that I would like sometimes wear when we have sex, and then he would like try to pull one of my braids like from the end. I'm like, dog, like that kind of hurts. But I was still kind of into it, so I was like, okay, let's do this. But then he like, I don't know, I really didn't like this, but he said that he wanted to have an alter ego to the hairstyle, as in my name would be Alexa whenever I would have this hairstyle. And then he was like, yeah, whenever like I go to the restroom and I say like I want Alexa to be on the bed, I want you to have like be ready waiting for me like that. And I'm like, I'm not gonna make you condition. I'm not gonna condition you to make you think that you're having sex with another woman with a different name just for
Yeah,
this,
that's
like,
weird.
yeah, I was just like, it feels like I'm literally conditioning you psychologically to be turned on by someone that's named Alexa, and that's not my name.
I mean, I
Yeah.
understand role play and all, but it has to be comfort from both ends
Yeah,
and understood.
yeah, it just didn't really make sense to me, I guess. It was just like, okay, so who are you? And he was like, I'm me. So I'm like, what the hell? It feels like you're kind of like cheating on me with me. But yeah, luckily that didn't happen because later on his coworker had the name. So like his future
Oh,
coworker.
lordy.
Yeah, like
Oh
months
my
later.
God.
Yeah, like his manager had the name. And I'm like, oh
Oh,
my god, thank
no.
God. Like thank God I didn't condition him to be aroused with this person's name.
Okay.
On God. That's
Could you imagine?
yeah.
So yeah, that's
Yeah.
the-
Well, there's not anything wrong with like roleplay or whatever, obviously.
Not at
but
all.
It's just like
I can understand being the cute little
Yeah.
schoolgirl with the maid outfit, but you don't put another name to it.
you
Unless it's, like,
definitely
Helga.
could if it's like I don't know, because it doesn't feel like that much different than like pet names or something, if that makes sense, right?
Yeah.
But like I don't know. If he kept pushing it, that's weird. But if he just like offered you like once, and like that's not that weird, you know?
Yeah, yeah. It seemed as if he wanted it to be like a protocol. Like, whenever I say I want Alexa, like, then you're doing this. And I was like, who is
How
Alexa?
is he-
Where did you come up with this name?
I'm just sitting here thinking, how is his relationship with his Alexa at the house? Because in Google Alexa, hey Alexa.
Do you realize? Oh wait, what's the time code? We have to come up with it. You can't just say the A word, okay? Do you know what that'll do to people? We're gonna have to censor it.
Oh shit. Well, it was more like okay. I'll leave that one alone.
It's the A word now, okay? You can
Yep,
say
I
whatever you
caught
were
it.
going to say. Yeah.
Just the relationship with their.
I assume you haven't done all that much online stuff either. That, for the most part, you just haven't really messed with experimentation and stuff over the last like year or so.
Correct. I guess I'm not very educated about online stuff.
Okay, well then, do you have questions?
Yeah.
That might be a good thing.
Are we
do
talking
that way.
about online sex?
To some extent, yeah. Because
Yeah.
I do a lot of stuff in VR chat.
So it's like
God.
like scripts?
No,
I'm so-
it's more along the lines of like for Puppy Girl, it's pet play. Like when she gets into this mode with her avatar, um, she can go into a chat area and they they tell her she's a good girl. They pat her on the head. Um they play with her and stuff like that. I mean, it's like a whole thing. And for other people, it can be like cats or something like that, or even just online sex with like
Yeah, you can just have regular
your
online
own.
sex in VR chat.
Yeah, it's a broad range. A broad range.
For the most part, it's like being in a Discord call if it were IRL but online. I feel like that's the only way to describe it, even though that conflicts itself like 4 times.
You have to have a good imagination and like know your body for when they say, "Oh, this particular area is being messed with." You actually can have to put it into your head and like think about it. That's the part.
I feel I do really good at that. Like,
Yeah.
Oh my god. I
Oh.
almost want to send her the clip that I took of my stream, but it is
Okay.
like one of my most embarrassing moments on stream, but I've sent it to too many people already.
can't be embarrassed now.
Okay, so what kind of questions do you have? Like anything.
Yeah,
You-
anything.
this is completely up
Yeah.
to you. We're
We're
very
open
open.
books.
So none of this is like none of online sex is visual. It's all just
No, it's very visual.
oh.
Yeah,
But you're not
depending-
actually seeing the
depending what
actual
you're
person.
doing. You're not necessarily seeing the other person, but
You're seeing their avatar, which is what they're portraying themselves to look like and what they're wanting to be.
I'm understanding.
yeah.
I'm understanding.
Here, let me see. Especially when you get into stuff like full body tracking or whatever, your body will move like 1-to-1 with what your character in the game is doing. And so whenever here, I'll send you the clip so you can understand. It is safe for work, so don't worry about it. But it is probably one of the most embarrassing moments that I've had on stream. They know what clip it is.
Yeah,
But
we sure do.
Yeah. The other part of that is it can be something like what Kaylee does, or you can do just straight up like
or you can just
DMing
sext
each other.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like I said, there's a wide range of what online sex is. It's not like strictly phone sex or text sexting or something like that. It's so much more, and there's so many different types, and a lot of it you have to use your imagination, and some of them can be visual, and you just have to like think about how it would feel.
And sometimes not even that, because it's like, oh, okay, well, if you have the visual there, like that in and of itself can be pretty hot. Like even if you don't have phantom sense or whatever, it's like you're looking down and it's like, wow. But I do have some degree of like phantom sense or whatever.
I'm just remembering looking over at a screen and seeing a very big, yeah. I was not prepared.
I wasn't either to a point, but I enjoyed it.
Oh my god. Anyways, did any of that make sense, Moses?
I watched the clip on mute, and I do understand. I do understand to a degree.
Yeah. The clip is of my dom getting me to howl on stream, which
Did you
Yeah.
do it?
this is why. Yeah. What?
Did you howl?
Yeah. I not very loudly, but I did. Yeah.
Just enough. And
Enough.
he was okay with it. He was happy with it.
That's
he was
what's
done.
important.
Just
He
enough to be a
understood.
good girl.
I see.
Okay, is there any other questions that you have about anything really?
I see. I had a lot of experience in like phone sex due to like a long distance relationship that I was in.
Okay.
So I understand like the explanation of seeing what it would feel like without actually feeling them. So not
That's
too far.
basically what I'm kind of dealing with right now. So,
Dealing.
Rain and I are in an open relationship. I am, and then I have a partner. We're kind of slowing down for the little bit because there's a small little hiccup. But a lot of it's been over the phone because he lives up north and we're in Texas. And it's been quite hot, but I use toys, so I can actually feel it. And my only thing is I like noises. You don't have to. I like the touch. Do not get me wrong. I can't wait to be touched or whatever. But the noises is what really gets me started. And then since I do have toys, I can still feel it. And he just tells me what to do, and I do it. So that's been very interesting.
You might want to get a Lovin's. That is.
We'll see after October.
But with the Lovin's, it's like, oh, okay, it doesn't just have to be him. It can be like whoever, wherever. But yeah.
Yeah, but we'll see. I don't want to put like too much money because I have toys that work and make me happy just right at this point in time. We'll see what happens and we'll go from there because money is money. So
Money is money. That is very true.
we still have a family.
A Lovin's it's like a remote control toy, but you can like use your phone.
Oh, how fun.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So you can like give control to whoever, wherever they are. Yeah.
Like in public,
So
for example.
Yeah.
yes.
For example.
If you were theoretically so inclined, you could, theoretically speaking.
You can be at dinner and you will have this toy on or in, and your partner can go, oh, she's about to take a bite of that meat. I'm just going to amp it up just a tad bit and just watch your whole face change, your body movement changes because you're also trying not to like give it away in full on public.
You know what's so annoying about them? At the very least, when it comes to like their plugs, they're made of silicone, which like is great for say half an hour to an hour, but then it starts to fucking hurt, and it's like, what the fuck? Like, it's not something that you think about before you buy it, but after the fact, it's like, huh, damn, I fucked up.
Yeah.
How am I gonna do this in the middle of the Olive Garden?
Yeah, I'm not, like it'll just start hurting because it'll like dry out or whatever, and it's like I can't reapply lube. I'm at Olive Garden. This is all theoretical. I would never go to Olive Garden.
That's the theoretical part.
Listen,
I'm gonna go to Olive
you
Garden.
Find me at an Olive Garden. Call the cops.
Somebody's
We're
trying
gonna
to
be
kill her.
We're going to be at Olive Garden next time and go, did you forget the lube?
I don't think I legitimately I don't think I've ever been to an Olive Garden.
Really?
Okay.
Oh, I don't know if you.
How did
Actually,
you
like-
how did you even avoid that? I feel like
Well, because I can't eat at Olive Garden.
Oh.
Yeah.
There's some of the foods. Yeah.
I haven't been there
Yeah.
often, but it's so
Sounds
American.
good.
It seems as if
Sounds
I've
so
been there
good
all
right
my
now.
life.
I think the last time we were there was when we met your ex.
Yeah. Is there something that you're
Yes, please.
wanting to like experience in the future?
Yeah, I would really like to experience that's honestly a really good question. Okay. Can I get an example of your best experience or one of your favorite experiences?
Oh lordy. There's a lot. I mean,
No judgment, babe.
I I'm trying to think. I have like things that I was still wanting to do, but like most recently, Rain over here decided she was going to be a little bit more dominant than normal, and she actually was able to like tell me I'm a pretty girl and stuff like that, which it was okay until she like got my hair,
Grab the
yanked
back
on
of her
it.
head, yeah.
Yeah. And she's like, you get like one or two positions, and I like it doggy style. So she was able to do all that for me, and she wouldn't let me touch her. We wouldn't kiss until like she said that was okay, and it was a different side of us that we haven't played with in a very, very long time. So it was just kind of like, this is kind of what I remember, and I'm liking it. The only thing is, I my sex drive in the last 2 weeks has been amped up. So I get every session that I've had lately, I've orgasmed at least 4 times, and I
Jesus
still want
Christ! Someone's
more.
got to call the orgasm police on you. What the fuck?
I just want more. I just love the feeling. I love that I black out basically, and I have to come to and like remember where I'm at. I love that feeling. No, I genuinely don't like the control if I can deal with it, and I like the pain aspect, and then like the full on I want to forget where I'm at. And if my knees are all wobbly and I can't walk, then yay, we did something right.
Okay. Yeah, what I would like to experience
Y'all
is
see what I have to deal with here?
That's a very high standard, but good for you. Very good for you.
That's why she's
Especially because
wanting
she's
me
a
to have a
sub.
partner. Yeah. That's
Yeah.
why she's wanting me to have a partner so she can go, all right, it's your turn. Walk away.
Yep, tap out. You're in.
Tag team.
That sounds so bad.
A little bit, yeah. Yeah, I
Oh.
would my next goal would be to orgasm during intercourse. I have yet to achieve that.
Okay, so I have suggestions. I know you were saying that when you're not in the relationship, you really don't have the umph to want to play or anything like that. My suggestion is to maybe even go to a toy store and just look around. See if anything like interests you. Um, and you like if you go, I can't even say the name. It starts with this C. The people that work there, they're very knowledgeable, and you can ask them questions. They'll answer your questions as best of their ability. And a lot of the times, like if it's like a vibrator or something like that, they'll actually pull it out of the package and let you feel it. So you can feel to see how intense it can be or not so intense. And there's some that even like it blows air
Oh
versus a
wow.
full-on vibration. Um, because even for me, sometimes it gets to be a little much and I can't think or let that part of me go. So that I had one that blows air and it did work. You just have to make sure it's in a right spot. Um, but yeah, my suggestion is to going into a toy store and kind of looking around and browse. Even if you don't buy anything, ask questions and kind of like get the feel for it. Because in actuality, my suggestion is to maybe one day get comfortable enough to buy a toy and figure out what you like.
Yep, you got to figure yourself out before somebody else can figure it out for you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That way, when you do get into that next relationship, you can go, oh no, I know I like it this way, and I'm going to show you the map. That way, when it comes to that point, and if they understand what they're doing, you
When it
can
comes
let
to
yourself
that.
free.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I do.
That way, you can just go, ah, this feels so much better.
That's fair. That's extremely fair. I think I do own a vibrator. However, like I said, I'm not able to use like both of them or like the vibrator as well as have it in like sexual intercourse at the same time because of the overstimulation. So then I either have to just like choose one or the other. And yeah, I would really like to experience like the simultaneous. Or just like, honestly, just orgasming off of just sexual intercourse, but that sounds nearly impossible at most times, so.
Yeah, what's orgasming? I don't know her.
Yeah, and like I said, just try to like experiment with yourself. I mean, there's times like there's things like you don't have to even have a vibrator. There's something they're like magnetic balls that you put inside you, and you can be walking around like in your house or your room or whatever, and the balls will hit, and it sends a shock wave, but it's also good for your muscles.
Oh. How interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, how interesting.
I've never heard of this, and it is both
a
intriguing and terrifying.
It's part of your Kegel exercise stuff. You can buy that. It will help make your muscles tighter because you're clenching onto something, and then that sudden jolt will help like stimulate that muscle. So there's a lot of people that have had very little sex or a lot of sex that don't do their Kegel exercises, and I know that probably said that wrong. They don't get as much pleasure as they should. Versus like somebody like me that I've been doing it for a very long time, I feel everything because of it.
I
Everything.
remember Kegel exercises being a trend, and there was this woman that would like literally lift weights with her vagina, like
That might be a little much.
no, she was so strong. She was so strong. I mean.
I feel. I hope and pray that she was a lesbian because I feel bad for the guy.
Yeah.
Like that would hurt.
Also, a lot of the sex that I had, like during my phase of like, okay, like this is time to like gain experience. That phase lasted like about a month, but after that phase ended, like I very much kind of became very not celibate, but I was extremely selective. Damn near pretty much celibate. And yeah, during that phase, I remember I had sex with this guy, and he came within about like 2-3 strokes. And
oh damn.
Yeah.
Excited to see you.
No, he was a horrible guy. We didn't really like each other. We did not like each other at all, but we did want to experience each other. We did mention that. Like, we did acknowledge that. So we're like, okay, like, let's put all the logic aside and just do this. So then after 3 strokes, I was like, are you okay? And then, like, he flips me over, so I'm like, oh, okay, like, he's still going. I am on all 4s, and then I turn around, and this man is fully clothed. And I'm like, what?
What the fuck?
That's when you go, you know what? Get out. I'm gonna grab my toy. I'll deal with it because at least I know what the fuck I'm doing. Like,
And then I
no.
made a joke.
How? I just don't understand.
Especially if you put my
Like,
ass on all fours. You better be doing something back there.
okay, agreed.
God damn.
No, I made a joke.
Jesus
I made a joke.
Christ.
I was like, going back to the Kegels, I made a joke. I was like, oh, like, pussy too tight. And then he's like, no. Excuse, who's the one that,
What the
who's
fuck?
the, wait, this was like less than 30 second sex. How, you are not in the position to say no.
One
Yeah.
pump
My
chump.
man's goes, that pussy mid and walks out.
That's messed up.
How
That
do
is
you
completely
like?
messed up.
How? I just. Oh my god.
But yeah, and
I'm sorry for you, Jesus.
No, but then guess what? The next sexual partner that I encounter, or actually no, the one previous to him, sex also lasted less than 30 seconds. So I'm like, what is going on? Like, there must be something wrong.
You're just hot.
And then
Well, with my
I mean,
voice, yeah, I believe it.
but it doesn't just stop at 2. It's like it happens kind of pretty much the whole month, and I'm like, all right, like I really don't need to be doing this because I'm doing no service for myself.
Listen, okay, it was just their time of the month.
Yeah.
But like,
Yeah.
Jesus,
Also,
fuck that
I had
shit.
like a huge, like I'd say about 70% of the people that I have slept with, the first time of them trying to sleep with me, their erectile was not functioning.
What the hell?
Like,
Wow.
let me repeat, 70%. And I'm like, man, the common denominator is definitely me. And there's always the same spiel. They all have the same speech of, it's like we're all getting, this is like the protocol. Like, we're getting hot and heavy, just like the kissing and then like kind of like speaking between our lips up, like while still kissing. And then
Yeah.
it's just like the fumbling. And then there's like the cut. There's the cut of the momentum of like, okay, why isn't anything happening? And then I just roll my eyes because I already know what this means. And they're like, and then like they'll keep trying and they'll try to like use the environment to like make it better somehow, or me, and then it just kind of makes everything a little more awkward and worse. And then when like the tension's like very much cut, it's like, okay, like this is definitely not happening. They're like, this usually doesn't happen. I'm like, yeah, because this is like, again, the protocol. Like the first thing they say is this usually doesn't happen, and then when we're getting ourselves closed again, the second thing they say is, it's not you. I'm like, yeah, I've heard it, yeah, cool. And I believed it the first couple of times, but I'm like, the common denominator for sure is me. Like, I don't know what it is yet, but yeah, we'll see. So
I've only had one partner where we never actually went through with it. I'm not telling the story. It's embarrassing for that partner. He's still not happy. But like it makes you think, are you sure that it's not me? Because I'm pretty sure that we were doing just fine until that particular moment. And
But like,
I got lucky. Mine is like, no, I just got way too excited and I just couldn't. I was like, okay, we cuddle. We're good.
that's fair. But like, if they're still like corny or whatever, then it's like, okay. Like, there are things you can do even if someone is soft or whatever. Like, but that's really, I don't know, that's frustrating.
yeah, unfortunately, with the men that I was involved with, they were very much not seeking my own pleasure for satisfaction. It was just like, all right, like, it's my curfew. One of them literally said, it's my curfew. I'm like, are you serious right now? That's the worst excuse I've ever heard. I'm pretty sure.
What were you gonna do if it did work?
Yeah.
You know? Like, oh, okay.
Exactly.
You're in college, you're over here already, you haven't mentioned a curfew before, and now you're running into issues and you have to mention your curfew. Like, okay.
Yeah.
I see how it is.
Of course. And also, there are times where, like, you know, the mood is very much have plummeted extremely, and there's, like, a sense of disappointment in the air, and then there's, like, the wimpy request of, do you want me to finger you? And I'm like, no. I said,
You could have done that
I'm good.
beforehand.
Yeah, I'm good.
I was like, they probably should have just, like, they probably should have not skipped a beat and started doing that, I would assume, right? I don't know.
It was also, like, the tone of voice that was delivered with it. It was genuinely, like, with kind of, like, a line of disgust. It was like, do you want me to finger you? And I'm like, what if I had said yes? What if, like, with this, I think I did say yes to one of them. Yeah, and it was, that's when he said it. Yeah, literally fingers in and literally said, so I have a curfew.
Oh my
Wow.
god.
That's when
Oh my god.
No.
And I was like,
No.
I
That's
said,
awful.
get out of everything and get out and go. Like, stop. Yeah.
Jesus. No, I am okay. Now that I think about it, okay, I am having flashbacks to these straight men that I've slept with. And you know what? No, that tracks.
Yeah.
Not surprised. You would think, right, that like, you know, they'd be able to find the clit or whatever. It's a little bit bigger, right? No, none of that.
No. No, definitely
Like, it's just like, oh, okay. Well, like, but it's not like, oh, I didn't have fun or whatever, and they didn't have issues with ED. But it's just like, oh, okay. Like, I have also never finished during sex, or like even like had someone else like make me finish or whatever. So, I am also very frustrated in that regard.
Yeah. Yeah, you would think they know, but they don't. Also, I don't think that, at least the men that I was with, they didn't really have the appetite to really care to know. It was just like I took my hand to guide their hand, and I was like, I might as well just be using my own damn hand. This feels like
Because at least mine knows what it's doing.
yeah, and then it's a lot of verbal communication, which is fine, but it's just like, I feel like you really do have to have the appetite to want to learn my body in order to actually have it work out. So I'm just like, yeah, this year can be for me, and it's been a pretty decent year. So
Yeah, I'm pretty, like, verbal is a big deal. Like, if we're doing it, like, over the phone or something like that, you have to be very verbal, which, unfortunately, sometimes it could really throw you, your mindset off, which can be really fun, or it can be like, all right, that's too much. I need to just stop, or let me finish. I'm getting off the phone. But like, for me, it would be like, when I started doing the whole sex thing, which, like I said, it was after 18, I enjoyed the foreplay more because I felt like I got more satisfaction out of it than actual intercourse. Because
Yeah.
intercourse to
Wow.
me was like, oh, okay, you're done. I didn't get as much satisfaction out of it. Like you said, I don't think I actually orgasmed during sex until rain. Just
Honestly,
because
I don't think I've
I prefer the
ever.
foreplay.
I don't think I've ever had anybody finish during like intercourse itself with me, which is interesting, especially considering y'all's different perspective. Because it's like, oh, okay, like I've made people finish, but it's like either like hand stuff or like oral stuff or, you know, stuff like that, as opposed to like getting fucked until they finish or whatever. But also, anal is intense and very difficult. Okay, fuck that shit.
No, I think I'm good.
Yeah, I've done it. I've done it once, and once is enough.
Yeah, I sure wish that I had the privilege of having that experience. However,
Amen.
I don't got that many other options right now. That being said, if y'all have any trans girl sex books, please email them to midnightgirltalk@gmail.com.
Yes, that one we talked
Throwing that
about for a
on.
good while, so we'll need some more.
Yeah, we read through Fucking Trans Women. A classic that came out in like 2010, but feels like it was released like a year or two ago.
It's like a penguin book.
It's like a no, it's like a independent like zine. Like it's got like 80s photo zine aesthetics, but it came out in 2010. Iconic zine. Okay, if you want to know something about fucking trans women, you gotta read the book.
Heard that. I will say I do have a weak spot. I totally forgot about this. I do have a weak spot for choking.
Okay. That's
Yeah.
nice.
Like I remember I had to like warn my sexual partners. I was like, if I go limp, it's not because I'm suffocating. It's because like I genuinely, my body like is its physical reaction to this, but it's in a pleasurable way. Like the second like a hand like is like on my neck, like my knees bend and like my whole body just like relaxes. I don't know what it is.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is something I have not done much research on. So that's interesting.
Like yeah, like all of my limbs just like fall.
Yeah,
How did you discover that?
That's a great question. Wow. I think there was only 2 partners that I was in a committed, no, 3. So yeah, the most recent committed relationship, we were very, very experimental because we started off just as like friends with benefits. So all we did was just like really try to explore each other, and I think while he was the golden retriever boyfriend, so I did verbalize that I did want to see another side of him that was possibly more dominant. So then he tried it. He tried to choke me, and then I guess I was very taken aback. I was very shocked, and it was with the mixture of I was very much acting like a brat prior, and yeah, it shut me up, and I just like we were standing, I think, and I fell. Like I just like fell. And then he was like, "Are you okay? Like why did you just fall?" And I was like, "No, that was great." And yeah.
No, do it again.
Yeah, it was like that was great.
Give me about a minute to like get oxygen back to my brain. But yeah, let's do it again.
Yeah, it wasn't even like a real, not even like a real suffocation. It was just like the fact that there was like, I guess, physical contact on my neck.
Well, I can understand that point of it, like, because I like the kissing on my neck. I like the fingers and stuff like that. I like the idea of being like slammed up against the wall. I don't know
Yeah.
about the choking part.
That's fair.
I like to breathe.
Breathing Hoshi. It still sounds like a similar response to like the papo stuff that I have sometimes.
Yeah, definitely, because you do kind of go a little bit like not limp exactly, but you know,
I don't
whenever
know. People have
somebody's
almost
been-
made me fall over.
Okay.
If I haven't just fallen over, I think I might have actually fallen over once or twice.
Okay.
Why do you think I'm always sitting down?
But yeah, I was gonna say every time, I've ever done anything like that for you, you've always been on the couch or a chair or whatever, seated.
Yeah, I have hardwood floors too. And then also, normally, if I'm doing pet play stuff with someone, I'm not normally standing up because, like, come on.
Yeah, pets don't stand on two legs.
Come on. Yeah. Where's the most craziest place y'all have had sexual activity?
Probably.
Olive Garden?
It depends what. I haven't done anything at Olive Garden. I have not stepped foot in an Olive Garden. For the record, let the record show. She hasn't stepped foot in an Olive Garden. However, probably in my car, which doesn't sound that bad, but it's like we were in the parking lot of like a park, and it was like broad daylight outside.
Wow.
And then probably it doesn't sound like it once more, but probably anytime I do anything at my girlfriend's apartment. Doesn't sound like it. However, my girlfriend has had 3 roommates, and 3 roommates have walked in on us. So clearly it's not a good place.
All at the same time?
No, she's had 3
No,
roommates
just
over the
right.
course of a year.
Oh!
And they've all separately, like, walked in on us. Yeah.
Quite risky. Quite.
Apparently, like, you wouldn't think it. You would think that, like, oh, one of the times it was kind of my fault, but, it's not like... It's not like I was standing in the middle of their living room in just a strap-on harness. However...
It's not, huh?
That didn't happen. What? No. I thought her roommate was gonna be gone for another 5 or 10 minutes, okay? I thought I had time.
All right. Rain. What
For the
about you?
roommate's credit, like, she did just, like, play it off. Like, we just had a casual conversation while I'm, like, standing there. And it's like...
Oh, you did it.
Yes, we did. We weren't even talking about, like, sex stuff. We were just talking about, like... We had been talking about, like... Their place doesn't have, like, clear, like... They don't have, like, a dumpster. Like, people come and take their trash, but they don't have, like, a dumpster. But they thought that they had found one, but they found, like, a recycling plant. And so she walked in and was like, yeah, I couldn't really find a dumpster. Like, walks in, sees me. Like, we had already talked about, like... I don't super like wearing clothes all the time, especially back then. And so it was like, oh, okay. Like, I talked with her roommate before, and she was like, yeah, whatever, like, level of dress you're comfortable with, I don't fucking care. It's like, oh, okay, based. But we had that conversation, like, a day before, and so I was going to kind of ramp into it. And so she walks in and just has a casual conversation with me while I'm standing here, like, just in a strap-on harness. Like, there's nothing on the harness, but, like...
I don't know. It sounds kind of hot to me. I mean...
Listen, okay, I'm still thrown off by the fact that she was so chill about it, and it's happened, like, multiple times since then that she's just, like, seeing me mostly naked, and it's like, apparently she used to be in a poly relationship, and people were just, like with people that live together, and so people were just naked a lot of the time, so she's just, like, chill with it. However, I'm from rural Texas. We ain't got none of that shit out there, okay? Oh.
Rain, what about you?
This is the question of most
Riskiest
different
place.
Riskiest. Let's see. There's 2 things that come to mind. One of them would be very early in our relationship. I think this is actually when we got engaged. It was in whose car was it? Mine or yours?
I don't know. But
It was one of our vehicles, and we were out in the back roads near our house now, um, just having fun. And then somehow in that moment we decided to get married too. The other one is
Don't even
it was
remember what car you got engaged in. What the fuck?
well, because I can't remember if the car that I was driving had already broken down or not, which I don't
yeah.
think it
That's fair.
had.
That's fair.
And then the other one would be on her mom's bed while she was at work.
Oh, I
And
forgot about that.
she found out about it later.
No.
How the mom find out?
No, she has no idea.
No, she did.
No.
Because something didn't flush very well.
Oh my god. Oh, I feel like a horrible daughter now. Oh my god. Okay,
You
so
didn't knowing that you had fucked on your mom's bed while she was away, but knowing that she had found out about it is what makes you feel like a horrible daughter.
yes.
All right,
Because
I'm
you
just
also have to realize
making sure.
I always, well, pretty much the entire time that we've had sex in the last, damn near almost 16 years, I have to put a towel under me because I get extremely wet. Like, I don't have any problem with that part. So cleanup is always just like, all right, let's just take the towel and you put it in the hamper and you go get clean up. I mean, that's always how it's been for me. So I never actually thought about if my mom would have a stain or anything because it wasn't possible. So something not flushing all the way. That I forgot about. Oh my gosh. Oh no. Let's see. Strangest places. I remember trying in the back parking lot at the high school in one of our vehicles.
How'd that one go?
Not that wasn't you. That
That was
was
before me.
yeah, that was before you. Um Oh, okay. So the same instance with my ex where we didn't actually get to was the same situation where we're at his parents' house and they live like in a different um, house. Basically, they're two different places on the property, and we were getting to that point we were trying again, and his sister and his younger brother both walked in.
Oh, damn.
So it was like immediate cover up, flip the covers over my head, and he just kind of like leaned around me and went like, "What are y'all doing here?" And they're like, "Oh, we came to watch TV." He's like, "No, y'all need to leave, please." I just remember that going, "All right, so this is just not meant to be."
Damn.
But I do remember with Rain, I do remember us having sex in the guest house, which is where I lived. And not even like a minute after we were done, my grandfather walked in.
Yep. He lectured us about doing something we shouldn't be doing, but I was fully clothed by that point, and like had like motorcycle helmet, in hand and everything, ready to leave. So I'm pretty sure we convinced him we didn't do anything. I was just there telling her good night.
Oh my
You were telling me
God.
good night.
Sounds like what was going on. I don't know.
I mean, you should have smelt
Pics or
my
it didn't
fingers.
happen.
Oh my god. But I haven't actually had sex in crazy places. Just crazy things that have happened because of it around that period of time, which can be kind of crazy.
How about you, Moses?
I have stories for both. I have the craziest place. I'm not sure if this is the craziest, but first one that came to mind was when I had. It was in the back of a. Let me get this right. It's a little lengthy. It was in the back of a rental minivan parked in an abandoned Chuck E. Cheese parking lot in California.
Oh my god, what the fuck? Do you wanna run that one down for us, or you just wanna leave it like that?
Well, that's what that was. Just something else to really say.
Okay, but do you wanna like explain a little bit around like
Why you chose
why
that
the
particular?
minivan, why the Chuck E. Cheese, why who was the person? Why were you in California?
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I was in California for a specific sport. There was like a sports tournament, and my significant other at the time was also in this sport. And yeah, it was like a tournament that was held in California. So everyone like that was in the sport traveled there. So hence the rental minivan. And yeah, and it was really, really late at night. Like, it was, like, not late enough to where it was concerning, but it was late enough to where things were closed. Like, everything was closed. And
nobody could actually see in on top of that.
Yeah, and it was, like, a minivan with actually some of my sport team members, and we had to, like, drop them off at, like, a Denny's or something. And, yeah, so... the closest thing to them, because I was like, we can't be too far from them, like that's fucked up, like this is not our city or state. So then yeah, the closest thing, darkest thing in like the emptiest parking lot was an abandoned Chuck E. Cheese.
Okay, that makes a lot more sense.
Yeah. I kind of liked that if you maybe would have just let that be like a cliffhanger, it would have been really, really funny.
You just go, nah, I was in like, just, that's
like
it.
casual.
All right, next story. Like.
Yeah, there's not much
However,
to it.
it's fucking insane.
No, not much to it. But,
Alright.
the other story, crazy instance, like, such as walking in, I actually had someone in my bed. I had someone in my bed, and he was unable to perform. And I was like, okay, like, cool. But, he, like, turned around. Like, he was, like, fully naked. And then, like, when it wasn't happening, he was just like, do you want to try? And I said, honestly, no, I'm pretty good. Like, the moment had died. I'm pretty done. And then, he was like, okay, turns around and faces my wall, like, fully nude. And I was like, alright, so we're just gonna lay here in silence, I guess, not talking about it. And then I like I'm trying to tell my roommate this, because I'm like, what the fuck do I do? Like, this is so awkward. So then yeah, I try to get to my roommate's room, and then I'm knocking on the door, and I hear her say yes. So then I open the door, and she is having, like, they are fully naked. They are fully naked, and I realize that she is not saying yes to me. And, and then I leave. I'm like, I'm sorry. And then I come back into the room, and I'm just like, just processing the fuck I just saw. And then I was just like, yeah, I just walked in on them, and I said that out loud to the boy facing my wall, and probably making him feel a lot more worse that he wasn't able to perform, knowing that there's two people fucking right next to us. And, yeah.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, and then he just, I don't know, he was just very silent. I think he was really embarrassed, but he wasn't really trying to say anything. I was like, okay, do you want to talk about it? He's like, no. do you want me to hold you? He was like, you can hold me. And I feel like it didn't make anything better or worse. It was just like, okay, this is really awkward. I would like this to stop.
Yeah.
You
That's...
know what's really awkward? Being a parent and having your kids come bang on your door right in the middle of it, and right before you get to like that nice little peak. That's fun. Kids make things interesting.
Because you don't know how to tell them you'll be there in a minute without going, oh, I'll be there in a minute.
Oh my god.
Can't really. I don't really know much about the peaks with another.
Well, I mean, even if you're trying to do it on your own, you
Yeah.
can still imagine being interrupted right as you're just like, okay, I'm about to like give in, and just like have somebody come bang on your door asking for something. It's like, really, 5 more seconds. Just
I
Motherfucker.
I wish.
Amen.
I wish I wish that banging on the door or even knocking was part of my house culture, because it very much wasn't. I was walked in on at the point of my climax from my mother.
Oh.
Oh no.
Awkward.
But I mean, I guess the perks of that being on like a taboo list, it was never ever acknowledged. So
That's
good.
good.
Question mark?
yeah.
I don't think I was ever caught by a parent, but I was caught by my ex-girlfriend's brother.
Oh my god.
That's pretty bad.
Yeah,
Do you wanna...
Okay, so it was my ex-girlfriend, me, and we had another friend over. And his room was right next door. So he could hear us, and he thought that his sister like got up and left for a little bit, and then he heard noises. So he's like, ooh, I can film my sister's girlfriend and this other girl. Like that's his legit thought process. The only problem is it wasn't the other girl, it was his sister, and he didn't know it. So about a week later, I remember going back over to their house, and like I heard noises coming from his room, so I like barged in because that we were all comfortable with each other. And I looked over and I went, oh, I know that butt. And he was like, how do you know that? And he goes, oh yeah, that's y'all's friend, and I can't remember her name at the moment. And I was like, no, that would be your sister. And he's like, nuh-uh. I was like, you don't see the red hair? And he's like, oh no, I've been doing this with my sister. Like he was mortified. I was like, the punishment. I feel so much better now. It was like immediate eject the VHS tape, because that's what it was back then. He like stomped on it, he threw it in the trash, lit the trash can on fire. Like he was like mortified.
You've been getting off to your sister.
And I told her, and she's like, well, that's what he gets, thinking that you're going to be with somebody else.
Good stuff.
Wow. Wow.
I've had some interesting things happen.
All right. I think we might be just about out of time at this point, huh?
All
Wow,
right.
it's already been an hour and 30. Yay.
Oh god. Alright, guys. It's been great. To y'all in the audience, have fun.
Yeah, share us some
Don't do
stories. Email
drugs.
us.
Email us at midnightgirltalk@gmail.com. And don't die. It's bad for you. And Elizabeth, do you have anything you want to say to our funny listeners?
Stay funny. That's all I have.
We'd love to have you back, Moses.
Yes.
I was so happy being here. I hope y'all enjoyed my stories.
Very much so.
Yeah, no, that's insane.
Yeah,
Chuck E.
I have-
Cheese
I won't
parking
look at
lot.
Chuck E.
I have a
Cheese
handful more.
the same way ever again.